me now, I ain't no holy individual, but I am righteous. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna steal from you, I'm not gonna cheat you. I'm gonna tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. That's it.
Cap, what's good?
Peace.
Peace. What's the deal?
Man, living the dream, man. Living the dream,
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, pardon me. I was on the Zoom with another beat maker when I got lost track of time or whatever. You know what I mean? Just chopping it up. Chopping it up on some beat science like we gonna do tonight.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? So for those that don't know, you reside out in Texas, like
Yes, I'm out of Dallas, Texas. I'm originally from South Jamaica, Queens, New York. Half my life, pretty much, I'm a transplant. So I'm in Dallas, Texas now.
Okay, yeah, I grew up down the block from you, Freeport, Long Island.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah. Every time I go back up there, I gotta hit Jamaica Ave. It's just a must.
Gotta hit the patty shop.
Oh yeah, the patty shop, margaritas. All of that. The Coliseum.
Got
my first set of gold fronts out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Jamaica Ave. That's definitely part of the history right there. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So, when did you start making beats? Was it down there or in Jamaica?
Now I started making beats down here.
Okay.
And it's crazy as it sounds. I started making beats in Fruity Loops maybe about, I would say, close to about 17 years ago.
Okay.
And I always had a good ear for music. My late pops, he passed away when I was 12. He was a horn player. He was in a jazz band.
Right.
So I was always around music. But yeah, I started off in Fruity Loops, and then someone introduced me to the MPC, the 2000 XL.
Yes.
And after that, it was history.
So what are you using now? Is the 2000 XL?
No, right now I'm using the Renaissance, the MPC Renaissance. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to upgrade, but honestly, in my opinion, as just using this equipment, I don't want to take the time to step back basically and learn new stuff. Right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know Akai, pretty much the software is the same with everything, pretty much basically. Right. So, Right.
Because I was on the MPC 2000 XL for like 20 years. I just switched over to the MPC Studio, and it makes the workflow so much easier as far as sending beats and things like that. I had the XL and I had an actual track board, which was like crazy trying to send beats.
Yeah.
So I just definitely upgraded or whatever. So
you had the SCSI joint?
No, I had the joint with the compact flash. First it was floppy disk. You know what I mean? But it had that SCSI in the back or whatever, but I never used it. You know what I mean? I used the floppy disk at first, but they kept getting those errors or whatever. I hated that. You make a fly ass beat and then you get that disk read error. I know you know what I'm talking about. So then I got that compact flash, but like I said, it was just sending tracks. It was harder. With this, I can just turn this into a wave. You know what I mean? Using this in the computer, and it's done. So
my bad.
Yeah, you can good. My shit going off too. I'm about to turn mine down as well. But being that this is strictly for my diggers, and I know you a digger.
Yes, sir.
Are you digging in the record store, or are you online, or is it both?
I do both mainly. Just whatever sounds good to me. Mainly online. I try to stay away from YouTube.
Why is that?
I try to stay away from YouTube pretty much because, okay, I'm gonna break it down to music theory. Every sound has been made already. True indeed. That's why we tend to sample. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because we recreate it in our own version. You know what I'm saying? So on YouTube, I feel like it's more accessible to more people, and you're not gonna get those rare gems because that's what it's about. It's about getting it first. You know how it is, having the first pair of sneakers on the block. You got to have that first, right?
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's why I look at the samples. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can make a beat out of anything. I can walk around the house, you know, record some sounds and get down, you know.
Right.
But mainly I sample from anything. You know, sometimes, you know, my son, he'll be watching, you know, cartoon or kids show. I'm in there doing something, you know, cooking or something. I hear something. I'm like, hold up, what's that? I run to it, see what it is, you know, just to download it, chop it up.
Right. So there's record spots out there in Dallas?
There's some record spots out here. You know, I mean, there's definitely some record spots. They be having I guess record flea markets.
Right. Okay.
At times, you know, where everybody pretty much goes, you know, and you can dig that way, but pretty much with that is first come, first serve. You got to get there early.
Yeah, true indeed. So are you a dollar crate digger, or are you the type that shell out big bucks for a record?
What I like to do is I always like to look at who's on the credits on the record.
Okay.
See, that's what I feel like. That's the key. Is once you find what instrument you want to vibe with,
right?
When you listen to that record, you got to do the research behind it. You know what I'm saying? If there's some guitar riffs you feeling in that, check out the credits. You know what I'm saying? And research him, because I'm sure that guitar player played with other bands or maybe started his own single career. So, you know, if you like that, you know, go down that avenue.
Got you. So you do both. You know, you dig, and then you also get things online outside of YouTube. So when you go into the record store, okay, and you see a record you've never seen, but do you now just picking a record? Are you judging it off the cover, or is it just like you said, just the instruments? And do you already know what instruments you're looking for when you go in the record store? Is it just blindly just, hey, let me check this record out because the cover looks crazy ill?
I do that too. I always gotta grab one of those.
Right.
But mainly when I go in, you know, if it strikes my attention visually,
right,
I definitely pick it up. You know, check out the back, check out the credits on it, who did what.
Right.
You know, that way I could tell, yo, is this really, you know what I'm saying, worth $25.99? You know what I'm saying? Since it's in a certain section. But if it's an ill ass cover, I'm all with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. True indeed. Because a lot of times when you dig in, a lot of times the real find is when you go home and you listen to it. You know what I mean? So you don't bring the portable with you to the record store or all that.
Nah, I don't.
Home and just
go through it.
You know, and go through it. Now, do you spot sample? Meaning, do you take the needle and just move the needle, or are you playing the whole record?
A lot of, depending on what zone I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what zone, but 9 times out of 10, I'm listening to the whole record.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because
even if you don't like the song, even if you don't like the record, you're playing the whole record front and back.
Front and back, because you know why? I'm educating myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm educating myself because you know what? There may be something in the future. You know, I hear something, I'm like, and I could reference and I could go back to it. So I never cut myself short. That's just like, I give myself, you know what I'm saying, probably about a minute. If I'm making something,
right,
and I'm not feeling it, I'm giving it a minute. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not feeling it, I'm gonna leave it alone, but I'm not deleting my session. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna save it. And that brings a good point, because that's what they did last night. You know, I was just going through sessions and I found something from like maybe about a couple of months back, and I went through it and I was able to make a hit out of it because, you know, it's just a different perspective at the time.
Right. Now, do you have a favorite genre that you look when you go digging, or it's just anywhere? It doesn't matter. Anywhere.
I'm mainly overseas stuff. I find the most, you know what I'm saying? But it just depends on the mood. You know, if I'm feeling soulful, I'm gonna find some soul records.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm always trying to be innovative, and I'm always trying to be on, you know, the cutting edge of things. You know, basically it's like this. I mean, if you make music and you ain't inspiring someone, then what you doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to keep this culture alive.
True indeed. So when you sit down to make a beat, you're not sitting down saying, well, I'm gonna make a rock joint, I'm gonna make a jazz beat. It's just whatever the sample tells you, whatever you could hear off the record. So you don't have a preset idea what beat you want to make.
I just go with it.
Just go with it. Right, right, definitely. So let's talk about drums, right? Where are you getting your drums from? Is it strictly on vinyl?
Sometimes I go for a vinyl, but 9 times out of 10, I'm playing it.
Actually, the drums?
I'm playing it. No, not the drums, but I'm playing it out on MP.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, I mean, technically, you know, and you know, it goes to the sampling.
Right.
You know, they getting you on the breaks now. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to do that, but you got a template. You know what I'm saying? Buy that break. Play it out. You know what I'm saying? Put a twist to it.
Right.
You know, make it interesting. That's what I like to say.
Gotcha. So the actual source of your drums, are you taking them off record? Or
source wise,
you know, what are you using? Yeah.
Mainly records, mainly the packs that I chopped up, because so I did some real tedious stuff when I started making beats. Right. And I still got the data. So at the time, I was using SoundForge to chop sounds up. It was Sony SoundForge.
I remember SoundForge.
Remember SoundForge? So I was using that to chop sounds up, and I was just saving sounds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was trying to learn how to use samples and Fruity Loops. You know what I'm saying? So I figured it out. You know what I'm saying? So I just started collecting sounds, started collecting the drums. I started chopping it up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Saving it, and I still got them to this day.
Okay. Gotcha. So when you start to make a beat, you don't start with fresh drums. You have a drum kit that you can always refer back to. You don't have to go back and search for drums.
Right. Exactly. Because I don't, you know, the versatility on the tracks, including the drums, I'll call it the lazy way. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to use the same drums on the next joint.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I always try to make a fresh, you know what I'm saying,
right.
track or whatever, you know.
So back to, like you said, you started with Fruity Loops. And the question I wanted to ask you is, do you see a difference between using software and hardware when it comes to your beats?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I feel the software definitely helps. You know what I'm saying? Because but then again, you know, I don't like to click. I like to feel my beats. You know, I take my quantize off. I don't use my quantize. Right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's the problem I had with the machine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, Native Instruments, you know what I'm saying? Big ups to them or whatever. But the machine, I don't like the pads. It feel like a toy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like everything is over quantized. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard horror stories about the machines. Quite a few beat makers I spoke to said they didn't like machine at all. They said that it was just something about machine, the workflow, all of it was just kind of like off. There's only like one beat maker that said they can get busy with machine, but the rest of them were like, it was just something about that piece of equipment that they just couldn't vibe with, you know? So you had machine, you bought machine. And
well, I shared a studio with someone, you know what I'm saying? And they had a machine.
Right.
So, you know, I played around with it. I'm like, let me see what I could do with this. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what I could do. And I'm just like,
nah, it's not your cup of tea.
I mean, I'd rather use, like, I got this from when I saw the architect do it. You know what I'm saying? The architect, we was in Atlanta, A3C. I saw him bust out. He had this like little pocket, you know what I'm saying? I forget the specific name of it, but it's a little pocket pad or whatever. And it has a whole bunch of different buttons and, you know, whatnot. He's like, hey, that's extra pads. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Makes a lot of sense, you know, so that's pretty dope.
Right. So when it comes to your BPMs, what range do you stick with that you like to be in between?
I like to stay with probably within 72 and about 80, 72, 80.
Okay.
In the 80s, kind of pushing a little bit, depending on what kind of track it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody tell you, even you know, Casa from Dallas, so Casablanca, you know, we spent a lot of time, you know, when the flood was in Dallas, you know, and I'll get to that in a minute. You know, they'll tell you, you know what I'm saying? I'll pretty much make everything I make all kinds of beats from all genres.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not just hip hop. So I try to stay versatile. You know, I mean, even that in dancehall, I do dancehall too.
Oh, word.
You know?
Got you. Yeah, that's what's up. So now when it comes back to sampling, are you more into chopping or looping, or do you do both?
I do both.
Okay, so you're not opposed to taking or finding an ill loop and just looping it.
Yeah. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying? At first, I had a different. I have a change of perception on that, because before I was like, man, I'm like, these loops, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna chop that up 8 bars. You know, some people even chopping at 16, you know what I'm saying? Let it run, you know what I'm saying? And just loop that. And I'm just like, man, where's the art to that? You know what I'm saying? Where's the art to that? I could just chop that up and just loop that, you know, because we, you know, at least I come from an era where it's like, you know what I'm saying? You get that sample, you know, you're gonna want to lay some drums on top of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it didn't sound complete until you did. So then I started thinking like, damn, how many beats did I miss out on? You know what I'm saying? In the past, because you know what I'm saying? I had that loop. It was crazy, but then I'm like, nah, you know what I'm saying? I can think of some dope drums to program on it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's just either tossed out or something. I'm like, damn.
So I should. Yeah, so you're not opposed to drumless music, making drumless music.
I'm not at all. You know what I'm saying? I do that too.
Right. Shout out to Bach Marciano, you know what I mean? Made that popular or whatever. Yeah, because you know, some people have a problem with it, feeling like, you know, they need the drums, you know, things like that. I noticed that drumless music is becoming a lot more prevalent these days. And I think it's fly. I like it too. I like it too. I like both. You know, I like both or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So let's go a little deeper into the beat science or whatever. So like when you're making a beat, right? How many tracks on an average are your beats? So you got the kicks.
I would say I would have probably about like 5 to 8 track layers on a beat.
Okay. And is every song put in song mode? Every beat in song mode, or some beats is just straight through?
I always end up putting it in song mode. You know what I'm saying? Because on the MPC software, that's dope, because most of the editing that I do within song mode, with song mode is dope on the MPC software.
Right.
But what I like to do is, you know, on the MPC software, you can actually click that button and it'll do a quick bounce down. And instead of going to file, bounce down and having to search for the file, you can just drag it, you know what I'm saying, and drag it onto whatever. So I just drag it on Pro Tools.
True.
You know, each track.
Yeah, that's what's up. So how do you know when a track is complete and you're not overproducing it?
That's a $1 million question. That's a $1 million question. How do you know? You don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that, you know, luckily, you know, if you got a dope team or somebody you can finally listen to it and think it's dope, because I was known for that. I was known to overproduce. So I'm like, wait a minute, I can add, you know, this, but I learned, you know, leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Because your imperfections are what's dope.
That makes you stand out, right? Your imperfections, indeed. And a lot of times the MC is the last voice, is the last instrument you need, especially with us doing the boom bap, lo-fi hip hop. A lot of the MCs that we work with are very lyrical, you know what I mean? That can really rhyme. So they don't need a whole lot. It can, you know, too much can distract and take away and don't give the MC room to really get busy. That's why I was always a big Derringer fan, because his beats were simple but effective and they were hard, you know, and I love those type of beats or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I know you work closely with Casablanca, who was like a pit bull off the leash. Like he's just aggressive all the way around. He's just like, I picture him like a dog biting somebody, the way he rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Casablanca is just even on the smooth track, he's killing it.
He got that intensity. He's just energy all the time. Shout out to Casablanca.
Shout out to Casa. Yeah, just a whole lot of energy. So how'd you link up with him?
So how we linked up with Casa is when Flood was in town, and you know, he linked up with Casa online. He was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know he was in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? We should link. Right. You know, and at the time, you know, I didn't know who Casa was. I'm like, cool. He's like, man, you know, we need to link up, you know, get in the lab. So we met at the lab. he got in the booth, started spitting, you know what I'm saying, started building with him, and you know what I'm saying, Casa's, you know, explosive, you know what I'm saying, and he's a good brother, you know what I'm saying, you know, he's on top of it, man, you know what I'm saying, with everything, professionalism, you know what I'm saying, on prompt, work ethics,
right.
Couldn't ask for anything better. And on top of that, the hidden gem with him is Casa. He know how to mix and master. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they don't know that about him. Casa, I told him, I said, man, you're gonna be making beats soon, watch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You will start making beats soon. So we linked up. I say this was maybe about 6 years ago, 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? We linked up and pretty much did a couple of, you know, went with him to Noah's show in Atlanta at the A3C show. So we had a lot of time to build and everything. Then Noah ended up, you know, heading to Cali, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's how we pretty much linked up.
So you knew Flood first?
Yeah, I know Flood first. See, I was spoiled, man. I was spoiled when I first started making, I would say not when I first started making beats, but when I started getting more acclimated to making beats, you know what I'm saying? I was at the studio one time when Flood was there. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I make some beats. He checked it out, you know what I'm saying? And that was one of the first artists I started working with.
Oh, wow.
So,
how fortunate.
You know what I'm saying? So my standards were like, yo, you know what I'm saying? So
how fortunate. Yeah, because Flood is sick with it.
Yeah.
Sick with it. Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely nice with it. So what's the scene like in Dallas? I mean, is it a lot of boom bap out there or what?
So Dallas, there's a boom bap, you know, hip hop purist scene out here, no doubt. But Dallas is more of a producer city. It's some dope producers in Dallas.
Wow, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's not mainly, you know, an artist city. You know what I'm saying? A lot of artists may tend to kind of have to go around,
right.
You know what I'm saying, in different paths to kind of, you know, make noise.
Right.
You know, so.
Right. Got you. So when it comes to like sampling, I mean, how are you, you know, maneuvering, you know, through the you know, the police per se? You know, at this stage of the game, do you feel you need to get permission or can you slither under the radar?
That's a good question too.
You don't have to answer that if you don't want to, because I know it's a sensitive topic with some people, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's some tricks to the trade about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, you know, it just don't have to stop the way it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta get out there and make it happen. Meaning, if I'm a band and I'm doing the cover, right? 9 times out of 10, that band that did a cover did their own rendition of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So why not do your own rendition to it?
Got you. Say no more. Because, you know, a lot of times with this lo-fi boom bap hip hop, we're so under the radar that a lot of beat makers, you know, they say that it's not even time yet to even worry about all of that because we're not moving units like that to even, you know, even care about it. You know what I'm saying? And they can just fly under the radar. Do you feel the same way? Pretty much?
I feel like this. Yeah, I definitely feel that way. And I also feel like, you know what I'm saying? If they gonna come after me, damn, I must have made some serious.
You know what? That's crazy because you know what? A few of them were saying that. They was like, yo, if they come after me, that's good. That means I'm making bread. That means I got the money to pay them and work something out if they coming after me.
Facts. I mean, you being noticed, right? I mean, you know, you doing something good.
Right.
So I think, you know, the internet, the power of the internet, of course, messed the whole industry up, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, I wouldn't say I'm not going to say mess it up. It ended a time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Of units. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like we in this whole digital era.
Right.
Then you had COVID happen where artists were making money from shows and stuff. They couldn't do shows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how do you really figure this game out? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All we can do is just put out dope music, because why? We got to carry on tradition. We got to carry on the tradition of hip hop, because this shit is getting crazy.
Oh yeah, you already know.
You know, I just every time I would just want to make good music. Like I do for self, you know what I'm saying? I started doing music videos. I invested, started in a camera, you know what I'm saying, and software. And I started shooting my own videos, you know what I'm saying, and editing, doing all of it.
Right. So yeah, let's get into that too, as far as like, you know, you said artists were doing shows and all that. So how does a producer make money in this industry? Underground producers such as yourself. Now, are you doing this full time, or do you work? I mean, how does that?
Now I work, and you know what I'm saying? I'm a businessman, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you can't just do one thing, you know what I'm saying? Even, you know what I'm saying? Even if I was successful, you know, doing music, I'm always going, you know, venture,
Indeed.
you know, dab in, you know, make the extra bread, man, you know, but I feel like a good way to make music is definitely, you know, if you have music sitting around in your files,
right,
there's agencies out there that will sign you to the point where they use your music for advertisement. You know what I'm saying? There's companies that will buy you music for video games and everything of that nature. But if you go that route, then you're gonna have to have everything squared away. You know what I'm saying, with your paperwork and everything else like that. Right. You know, so it depends what route you want to go. Right. You know what I'm saying? Mainly, that's the question that needs to be asked. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What you got to ask yourself, that what are you doing? What are you trying to accomplish?
Right. Because, you know, the artists, you know, they can get paid off for shows, you know, features, the album sales. The producer, where does he get paid from? You know, the splits from the album sales, maybe selling a beat here or there. But then, you know, what else? There's a lot of the beat makers I've interviewed have done, you know, songs with some of the hottest dudes in the underground, but they still work a regular 9 to 5 and are not full-time beat makers, you know? Thanks. I was just wondering, like, how does that work, you know?
Yeah, you know, I wish I could be a full-time beat maker, you know what I'm saying? Life happens, you know what I'm saying? Right, responsibility, you know, but I think that, you know what I'm saying? We can only do the best we can with this music, you know what I'm saying? And it's all about
the love,
legacy, right?
Yeah, for the love. You gotta love it.
For the love, yeah.
Because it's not a whole lot of bread in it just yet. And speaking of which, do you probably prefer then to work with an artist and produce a project top to bottom, do all the splits and the streams and all of that, correct? Is that how you prefer? Because I noticed a lot of beat makers now have said that they prefer to, you know, find an artist, bond with that artist, and, you know, do a project and y'all split everything down the middle, you know, the streams, you know, the vinyls or whatever. Have you been offered a vinyl deal for you and any artists you work with? Have y'all signed any vinyl deals?
Haven't signed any vinyl deals just yet, but I mean, we pressed up a couple, you know what I'm saying? Like I know the last project that we did, the Koreatown, right? You know, we got the physicals pressed up on that one. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, just do it for self. You know what I'm saying? Invest and try to push that out there. You know what I'm saying? But no, I haven't received the deal yet. No, I take that back. We did receive an offer one time, and you got to watch out for those. And those people know who they are. You know what I'm saying? That go out there. You know what I'm saying? Offer people deals, you know, make you sign contracts, you know what I'm saying, and take your money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because the legal aspect of it, we're not lawyers. We don't know law like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? We up and coming, you know, we you know, happy, you know what I'm saying? Honored, you know, that we getting signed, you know, we want to sign and run with it, and we not paying attention to detail.
Right. Know. Now, and when you say getting signed, is this like a vinyl deal?
Just a vinyl deal in that project.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Pretty much like, okay, we gonna press up, you know, 500. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna start pressing up until we get 200 pre-sales or so forth. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, once you get that, then pretty much shit gets pressed up, and you know.
Right. So it's not like they're giving you a little advance. I guess depending on who you are.
Who you are, yeah. But of course, with as a producer, I mean, it's going to be whatever the artist you're working with, because they pretty much going to be the ones to get signed and get these deals, and on the project that you're working on.
Right. So the money in this game is here and there, right? And it's not a whole lot, is it?
Not that I experienced yet, but we're going to speak that into existence.
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to speak that into existence for us and everybody else that listening and watching.
Right. True indeed. So you can tell I'm a beat maker and I'm into this because only these questions is what a real beat maker would ask another beat maker. You know what I mean? This is strictly for my diggers or whatever. So like, I know you sell beats or whatever. Now, would you sell a beat to an artist you're not really feeling?
No.
Even though he's hot on the underground scene, think of the hottest artists or some of the hot artists that are out today. I'm sure you don't feel everybody that's on the underground, but that dude is hot, but he comes to you and wants a beat from you, and you're really not feeling him, even though a lot of people on the ground are feeling this guy. Would you sell him the beat?
Nah, I wouldn't.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's a conflict of interest.
Right.
That's still a conflict of interest. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Because okay, what would happen if the rap, you know what I'm saying, wanted to buy a beat? 6ix9ine. It's like, yo, you know what I'm saying?
6ix9ine is not I'm talking about within our genre.
Within our genre, okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about within our underground genre. There are people out there that, you may not say they whack, but you're just not feeling them like that. But a lot of people like them, but they want to buy a beat from you, but you're not really feeling them. This guy is not on your radar. He's all right to you. You really don't want to, you don't really rock with him like that. It's nothing personal, but just music-wise, you're just not into his music. But he wants a beat from you, wants to buy some beats. Would you sell it to him?
I probably would have to have a conversation to see where the vision's going. You know what I'm saying? Because I never had it happen. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, but I'm thinking like if they want to buy a beat from you, they feeling what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So maybe, you know what I'm saying? That vibe will create something new.
And make you get into them a little bit more. Got you. So for an upcoming producer or a guy who's watching this video that's in his bedroom making beats or whatever, what advice would you tell him? Would you tell him, hey, you got to get out there and give free beats out? What advice would you give someone that's trying to get to maybe the point where you're at?
I would say just keep on pushing. You know what I'm saying? Don't really worry about what other people think of your music. You know what I'm saying? Don't let that discourage you. You know what I'm saying? Just keep on doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And network with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Work with many artists as you can. You know what I'm saying?
Regardless of the money, just sometimes give them the beats.
Give them the beats. Let them work. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just like whatever business you decide to open. You know what I'm saying? It costs money. You know what I'm saying? Or it costs time.
Absolutely.
To make it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got to let that go. And I learned a long time ago, just with beats in general, you got to learn to divorce them. You got to divorce them beats, because if you holding feelings onto them beats, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to let it go. You got to let it go. You got to let that beat go. So,
So how many beats are you making a day?
It's funny you said that, because I think I made a record that, like, what was it, Wednesday night? I promise I made about 42 beats.
Damn, in one night?
In one night, in 3 hours.
So how many of them were quality though that you want to keep? Be honest.
I would say at least like about 60% of them.
Okay. Because I know we make throwaways and things that's not all that dope. The sample doesn't come out. And speaking of which, do you ever get what we call beat block, where just shit don't work out right, and you just have to cut the machine off, go for a walk, cut it back off, still not working right, turn it off, make something to eat, watch a movie. Does that happen often?
Not often, but and I'll get into that. It's a crazy story, but if it happens, you know, honestly, do something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Go in there and put some mix match socks on. You know what I'm saying? Go in there, wear a hat. You know what I'm saying? Wear a ball cap a different way. You know what I'm saying?
Just turn my hat.
Yeah, turn your hat to the side. You know, like turning the switch. You know what I'm saying? But now I would say really, really just start vibing out to the essence and the foundation. You know what I'm saying? What inspired you to make music from jump? What inspired you to make beats from jump? Get in the vibe. You know what I'm saying? Get in your element. You know what I'm saying? Get your mind right. Sit back. Listen to it, vibe out, and become, you know what I'm saying, the fan that you were in the music. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, we're still students. You know what I'm saying? We're still students. So vibe out to that. Then I start vibing out to my stuff. You know what I'm saying? My tracks, whatever I've done, whatever I've accomplished, build up to that. You know what I'm saying? Remind yourself of where you came from and who you are.
Word is bond. Word is bond. Melissa Cap Chino, yo, I appreciate you for jumping on or whatever, because I hit you early to remind you, but I didn't hear back from you. I'm like, okay, he may not jump on. He might have forgot, but I'm glad.
Yeah, my bad, man. Yeah, what happened was I got this new MacBook, so I install all of this stuff, and you know, I didn't realize I had to do all of that. I forgot.
Yeah. Because we're doing video, you know, interviews or whatever. Because the whole thing, this is strictly for my diggers. This platform is for us, for beat makers. See, I've seen your name, you know, around a lot, but I don't know what you look like. So this gives the viewers, you know, to be able to match the face with the name, you know, because a lot of times as beat makers, you know, we're left in the dust. We're not really, you know, we don't get the real props we deserve. So this is to celebrate you all.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Right.
And I appreciate you for everything that you do for the culture. You know, I've been watching, my brother. You know what I'm saying? And I see the beats you make, and they're dope. I see what you're doing for the culture, and I salute you and respect you for that.
Right. It's just a labor of love, man. It's a labor of love. Like I said, I'm 47 years old. You know what I'm saying? And I just love it. It doesn't feel like work to me. I love talking and asking questions, because what it is, I'm asking questions that other people want to ask, other people want answers to. You know what I mean? And you're out there a little further in the game a little bit, that you can answer these questions. So it's an educational platform as well as a celebratory platform for you all. So it's showing equality. You know what I mean? We're celebrating you, but you're also giving nuggets to those who want to do the same thing and want to navigate through this underground hip hop. And a lot of y'all are keeping it real. No, there's not a lot of money in it right now. And it may never be a lot of money for some of them, but you got to have what? The love for it.
The love for it. And to piggyback to what you said is, here's the thing, and I always say this to artists, is that it's not you're not running a sprint. This ain't a 100-meter. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's a marathon. You know what I'm saying? It's about how much you could take and keep moving, you know what I'm saying, in this game, because you got to balance everything. And that's the thing with artists, period. When you're a producer and you work with artists, you know what I'm saying? When you work with the artists, you got to make sure that they life in order too, because life happens. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you work with an artist and life happens, you can't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Because you should have understood it from jump. You know what I'm saying? Learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Work with the right people. Keep it, you know. Right.
Oh, and another question. I know I'm going off topic, but are you gonna make, or have you made, a Chronic-like album, your Dr. Dre album yet? Is that in the works?
Funny you mentioned that. It's in the works. It's in the works, and there's gonna be some dope artists on there.
I know you're not gonna tell us. I know you're not gonna reveal it right now.
So this year, Cas and I are working on a project right now. It's called Soul. Okay. That's gonna drop in a couple of weeks. That's a little, you know what I'm saying, maxi single, I like to say. Okay. You never heard that expression anymore, you know. Right. EP, you know what I'm saying? Cool. That's going to be dope. You know, we got some dope visuals coming up. Got another project with Meth Luciano. Right. You know, that's in the work. Got a project.
He's in Dallas?
He's in Dallas. He's
Okay.
dope. You know, there's another project with this guy named Legend that I'm working with. That's about to drop, and then of course the Flood. You know what I'm saying?
So you know what Noah Top, the producer Noah Top to bottom?
Yeah, on the project.
Okay. Right.
You know, that will come soon. You know what I'm saying? Can't rush greatness.
Right.
No, and then to finish the year off with what is it? I forgot the name of the project because it's coming out like in December or January, but it's another project that Casa and I got going on.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That is a continuation from the series because we had, you know, Chicken and Chopsticks. You know, the title of that is Ignorant as Hell. You know what I'm saying? And then we had Koreatown, and then in between that, I dropped a little comp, you know, with Can't See, Jay Holly, you know with the Flood. Shout out to them.
The Untouchables, yeah.
Untouchables, you know, but Gold Front Fangs, I dropped that too. It's a little compilation.
Yeah, I remember that Gold Front Fangs or whatever. Yeah, I definitely remember that. Yeah, so Casa, you're like his Dr. Dre, you're his premier.
Pretty much, you know what I'm saying? We click, man.
I see that.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like the new beats that started working on, the new waves of beats that started working on. When he heard it, he's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? This is what he envisioned the sound of the project he worked on. It's weird it works like that. It's like, you know what I'm saying? If we just on the same frequency.
Right. So with that being said, I feel like as a producer, it's better to come in the game with someone that you've worked with side to side with and an MC that you like and you can grow with, as in instead of coming in as just an independent producer and just throwing beats here and here to somebody, right?
Facts.
Yeah. Because you came in with pretty much Noah and building with Casablanca. So you know you've gotten comfortable working with them and y'all are growing together.
Yes, sir.
That's a better way to get in the game.
I think what it is, absolutely, because it's a shady world and shady business as it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you have somebody, you know what I'm saying, that you go to love, that you go to trust, you know what I'm saying, that and you got a dope team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's the sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? You can achieve that. You know, it's just keeping dope circles around you, you know, and small.
So finding that one artist that you can, or one or two artists that you can build with from the ground all the way up, and y'all just eat together, split everything down the middle, and y'all eat together. And that's probably the best way to actually navigate within this game, huh?
Facts, yes.
Absolutely. Well, once again, Cappuccino, I keep on calling you Cappuccino.
Nah, it's so good.
You know what I'm saying?
How that came up, you know what I'm saying? Like, my father black, my mother's Korean. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm Blasian. You know what I'm saying? I'm Blasian, man. Right. So basically, he used to always call me Chino. Now I'm about to, you know, kind of show my age, but MC Light came out with Why Did I Me Cappuccino, saying cats start calling me Cappuccino. You know, then it was like I started making beats. I'm like, you know what? I want to be cappuccino. I don't want to be no coffee, man. Let me take the A off it. I'm just made cappuccino. You know what I'm saying? People started Cappuccino. You know, people would call me Cap, and then the whole Cap thing came out. I'm like, damn, man. You know, the whole they capping. I'm like, oh man, that fucked my name up. So, you know,
wow.
So I, you know, I came up with some 7-6. You know, 7-6 Media Group. So you know, it's still cappuccino though. Okay. It's all good.
Definitely. But yeah, once again, my brother, thank you for taking time out to participate in this. This is a labor of love. You know what I mean? This platform strictly for my diggers. It's for us. You know what I mean? And I'm in this platform, we're putting the beat maker first. We're putting him in the forefront.
Thank you.
Know what I mean? We're not dealing with none of the nonsense. You know what I mean? Pay us for our beats. You know what I mean? Or whatever. We're not, from here on out, that sample snitching is dead. Heads will get called out and ostracized for sample snitching. That person, that website know who they are. You know
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So right now it's just our time, and I'm blazing the trail, and I'm putting everybody in the forefront, all the beat makers. So it's only a matter of time that I got to you. You know what I mean?
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? And keep doing what you're doing for the culture. Thank you so much. And we got to keep in touch, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What I'll do when we get off, I'll put it in the DM on my math. I throw it in the DM and whatnot. Just lock me in.
No doubt. No
right?
doubt.
All right, enjoy your night, brother. Peace.
All right, brother. Peace.
I'm gonna tell you now, I ain't no holy individual, but I am righteous. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna steal from you, I'm not gonna cheat you. I'm gonna tell you the truth, whether you like it or not.